All right, guys, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. You want to know what watches I recommend for Christmas that are under $500? Stay tuned, you're about to find out. All right, guys, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Today I'm talking about my top 10 watches that I think are ideal for Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, or just any special occasion that are under $500. So let me get right into my list. I'm going to start off with the Citizen ProMaster Diver Eco Drive. Now, this is an Eco Drive watch, which means that it's not mechanical. You don't have to wind it or constantly wear it in order to keep it wound. It's basically charged by light. So if you're buying a watch for someone that doesn't have many and doesn't want to be bothered with changing out batteries or resetting the watch if they take it off for a few days, this is an awesome option. Very well made dive watch. I've given it as a gift myself. I even did a video about the one that I gave my father-in-law. Now they come in two different sizes, 44 millimeter or 36.5, and you can pick these up typically between $225 to $250, depending on the sale. That's the Citizen ProMaster Diver Eco Drive. Next is another Eco Drive by Citizen, and this is the Garrison. Now this watch is a field watch essentially, and what that means is ideal for hiking or outdoor activities. So the Garrison comes in at 37 millimeters, Eco Drive, and typically you can pick these up for around $175. Citizen Garrison. Now we're moving into some mechanical watches. My next pick is the Orient Bambino, and there are tons of options out there for the Orient Bambino. Different color dials. You've got some dials with a small second hand. A lot of things for you to pick. Now the Bambino is an automatic, so you have to wear it to keep it wound. If you take it off for a couple of days, it's going to start to lose its power and stop running. Now that's a 41 millimeter diameter watch, so it's a bit larger wearing dress watch, but you can pick these up all day under $200. That's the Orient Bambino. Great starter watch for someone that's just getting into collecting or getting into mechanical watches. Next is a Hamilton. Now this is the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. This is a hand wound watch. You've got to wind it by hand every day to keep it powered. 38 millimeter, so it's a little bit smaller wearing watch, but this is a great everyday watch. Wear to work, wear to office, and it can kind of be pulled off as a dress watch. Swiss made. So this is probably an upper level watch for somebody that you're buying it for. Maybe they've been collecting for a while, or you just want to get them a nice graduation gift. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical is always going to find its way into about every watch collector's collection. They typically run $450 to $500. You can find them a little bit cheaper on Joma Shop, depending on the variation, but it's a great gift. Highly recommended Swiss made watch. So moving on to another mechanical watch, and this is a Citizen ProMaster Automatic Diver. Now you're going to know that it's a ProMaster Automatic Diver because you're going to see that the crown is at the 8 o'clock position. Now these are true dive watches, 200 meter water resist, automatic, 42 millimeter case diameter. You've got a lot of different bezel and dial options out there, and typically they're going to start with the model number NY00, then it could be 40, 86, 85. There's a lot of variations out there. Joma Shop's got a lot of them. You can find them on Amazon. Normally they're going to run around 200 and under. That's the Citizen ProMaster Automatic Diver. Highly recommend this. I've got 4 of them. I love them. Very inexpensive, and watch collectors going to love having one in their collection. Moving on, I'm going to another field watch, and this one is the Bull of a Hack. This is a great alternate. Maybe you like the Hamilton Khaki, but you're like, look, I'm not spending $500. The Bull of a Hack is an awesome alternative. This is 38 millimeter automatic, and I'm actually wearing my ivory dial. Now, Bulova and Citizen are the same company, and you're using the Citizen movement inside the Bulova. And you can get these typically under $300, sometimes even cheaper than that, depending on the sale. So bull of a hack, great automatic watch. It's got that vintage field watch vibe. Highly recommend it. Let's say you want to get something nicer for like a birthday gift, a little bit nicer dress watch. I love the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time line. You've got a lot of different dial options out there. This is a beautiful watch. I owned one, but because it's 40.5 millimeters and I got little skinny wrists, it just wore too large for me and I wound up selling it. I had no complaints. It was just a beautiful watch. I loved it, but just looked a little odd on my wrist. That aside, I highly recommend it because you can pick these up for $350 to $375 all day, and a lot of different dial options for you to pick from. Beautiful watch. Anybody would love to have it in their collection. That's the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time. Moving on, let's go to another diver. And again, this is a awesome deal. I think a real good bang for the buck. It's the Glycine Combat Sub. This is going to be the Combat Sub 42 is what you'll see it come up as in a lot of searches. Swiss-made Sellita movement. This is an automatic 200-meter water resist, 42 millimeter case diameter. You can find these, the best deal you're going to find on them, I say go right to Ashford. And that's a website that sells watches called Ashford. They're an authorized Glycine dealer. They have the best prices that I've seen on Glycine, and there's a lot of other variations on the Combat Sub. Just make sure you're looking at the automatic versus the quartz, depending on which one you want to buy for this person. But $360 to $375 for a Swiss watch. They're beautiful. I've owned several Glycines. I love them, and I think it's a great bang for the buck. $360 to $375. Love them. Now this next one I'm kind of giving a little bit of an asterisk because I wanted to include it, although it just creeps over the $500 mark. I wanted to throw it out there in case you're watching this and you don't know about this watch. It's the Tissot PRX, and this is the automatic. It's called the PowerMatic 80. That's the one you want to look at. I wouldn't recommend the quartz because I think it's kind of a waste of money. I think if you're going to buy this for someone, get them the automatic. It's going to hold its value way better than the quartz will. But this is a Tissot PRX PowerMatic 80. The watch is 40 millimeter in case diameter. And right now, the bracelet version is at Joma Shop for $550. Now, they do have a rubber strap option. I don't recommend it just because it makes it very hard to swap that rubber strap out for anything else once you have it. I would only get this on the bracelet version, but you're going to be right over $550. And again, it's the PRX PowerMatic 80, the automatic. Don't get the quartz. Highly recommend it. It's got a timeless design. It could be an everyday, it can be a dress watch. Anybody would love to have it in their collection. Swiss made. Awesome. And that's why I wanted to include it. Sorry, I'm over 500, but I thought about leaving it out, but it's too good of a gift option, and maybe you're looking at something slightly over 500. The Tissot, someone's going to love it. This last one, I think, is killer. I think when someone opens up this, just the look of it. When I first saw this watch came out, I thought Seiko's going to want $800-900 for it. I was certain of that. This is a Seiko 5 GMT. And you look at this thing, a GMT for $370, automatic on a Jubilee bracelet. I don't know how they did it. I've been disappointed with Seiko in the past with some of the high prices that they have on some of their watches. But this Seiko 5 GMT is amazing. Now, if you're watching this, you're like, what is a GMT? Why does he keep saying that? That's that additional smaller hand that you see on the dial. And what that does is allows you to track 2 different time zones. So if you get on a plane and you fly to Vegas, you can set your watch to East Coast time, and you still can also track Vegas time. So that's what it's there for. Or if you work on the East Coast and your company is on the West Coast, you can track the 2 different time zones. Even if that's not the case, it's still just cool to have. It's a great option to have on a watch. It just looks amazing, and it's so cheap at $370. Who wouldn't want this in their collection? And it just has such an awesome striking appeal when you look at it. I highly recommend the Seiko 5 GMT, a little bit larger wearing watch, coming in at 42.5 millimeters. So if you're buying this for someone, just see in their collection, do they have other dive watches? Then you're probably going to be safe, because that's going to be a similar size, although this is a GMT, not a dive watch. It's going to be close enough to a dive watch size that I think that they could pull it off. Anyway, leave any comments below if you think there's one that should be included in the 500 and below list. And any questions you might have that I didn't answer here, leave them below as well. I'll try to respond to them. And as always, I appreciate you tuning in to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews.